Hi everyone, Cendril here along with Finn.
Hello everybody, Naz Skylark, aka Finn Feather Dragon here.
Expect a few inches of snow tomorrow. Um, just go ahead and get into it.
Okay,
We got nothing, people. We're struggling here.
we're struggling here. We've got about 3 weeks left in game. We need some topics to help.
Exactly. That's yeah.
Okay, so we're looking for topics, and one we found was early access, like early access games. So thoughts on that?
I don't like early access. Like I don't. I like the premise, but I don't like what early access has become.
And by it became, what do you mean?
Early access now is. I think the intended purpose of early access, and this is just me, was for game developers to put their game out there at a reduced price and be like, hey, all of you help us make our game better. Let us know what we did wrong and how we can improve it. Which is still what early access is used for sometimes. But a lot of early access stuff now, to me, is, hey, here's our unfinished game. We'll promise we make it better. Give us $20. And then we cut and run.
I'll say they pocket your $20 and run.
Yeah, and then run and never update the game. Which is why I don't like what early access. I don't like what early access has become, because it's become that. Like, it really is, and I hate to be cynical about that, but I see that way too often now. Sheep.
Fluffy sheep, defluffied. No, come here. Just snip in the air.
There.
Sheep did not want to be clipped.
No. That's what early access has become to me. Fancy milk.
Fancy milk? Oh, it has like the iridium star?
Yeah.
Nice.
Right here.
The Skype's walking it. I'll see you later.
Forget you too, Skype. But like that's my problem with early access. Like, I like the idea of early access, because early access could benefit both parties, because you could have early access. So the that's just a small iridium egg, huh? The game players get the game early and can help shape how the game is, which is huge for players to be able to do for gamers like us. And then the developer gets feedback and can make the game what people want to see to help further boost his profits, or just make a better game.
Right.
But like I said, a lot more and more is early access. We grab the money, thanks. Work on the game a little bit more,
And then skip town.
and then we can leave.
Yeah.
And I don't think that just because gamers are more aware these days, I would say. Just knowledge is higher, I guess. That doesn't happen as much, but it still happens. Like, the premise of... Nope. The premise of early access, I really like. But I think sometimes it's not used. It's not used correctly.
well, like you're saying, like the premise of early access, it benefits, I think, smaller game developers.
Yes, absolutely.
Or, like you said, they can give the game for cheap, 50 cents, a dollar, whatever.
Oh, it's usually not that cheap.
I know. I'm just saying. But they can get it for cheaper, and then maybe you'll get, like, day one, you'll get, like, the super fancy whatever stuff. Do they always come through on that? No. But, you know, you can play the game, um, and then you can, like, help them debug the game while they're still working on it. Which has almost been a topic on a few fronts of, instead of the game companies paying someone to debug the game, you are now paying the game company the money to get the game early and debug it for them. Some people have been making those jokes.
Yeah, and that's another can of worms.
Yeah.
Like, entirely. Like, it really is. Because you're doing the work of somebody's job, basically, for just being able to play the game a little early.
Yeah. I've never done early access personally.
I have.
The one thing I considered doing early access was when FaceRig was first starting up. It was like $5. They only had maybe 5 to 10 options for the face thing that you could play around with. And you know they've followed through and sold it, and you know made the full game fully functionable, and you know didn't just take everybody's money and run away.
Okay.
FaceRig. It's not really a game. It's more like it's kind of like a tool more than anything, or software. Steam calls it software technically.
Okay.
Where you know you look at the web camera, and there's a little avatar that mimics your facial movements. So, which is kind of neat. And then I know another one. I think it was Prison Architect. I think it's been in early access for a while now.
It's finally out. Prison Architect's out.
Okay.
A couple of months ago, I want to say, it released its 1.0 patch,
Okay.
so it's officially out. But yeah, it was in early access for a long time. But they were making constant updates. The important thing is, if you do early access, like, and this is, I think every developer knows this. I'm just talking here, but you know, you should see updates from the developer quite often if a game is in early access.
And pretty regularly.
I would say every 1 to 2 weeks, even if they're just to say, hey, we're working on this, even if there's not a patch. Like, I think it's really important that the developer stays in touch with you during early access.
Definitely.
Whether it's like the community manager, if they have a community manager, no matter what it is, they got to have somebody from the dev team telling you about the game.
Or sometimes their patches will be very small, like fixed character animations, so it actually looks like they're doing the animation when they're swinging the sword or whatever.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't have to be big, but they have to be constantly working on it. Because that lets you know, as the person that, you know, bought this early access game, that one, you didn't just get cheated out of money.
Yeah.
And more importantly, that your input is being valued.
Exactly. And then I understand the premise behind early access. Maybe it's an independent developer. It doesn't have big bucks. They need a little extra money to keep the project going, so they grant early access. Which, business-wise, I can see why they do that. They need more money to keep working. But again, like you said, if you don't have constant updates, people are going to give up and not help you anymore. And don't be the guy that cuts and runs. Nobody likes you if you cut and run.
Yeah, that's...
You just ruin your name.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm trying to think of any early access that have done that. I can't think of some, but I know several have done it.
Well, I'm going to transition to something else then.
Okay.
Along these lines. And I give you the game that I'm pissed off about. about this later. For now, let me talk about this. I don't like season passes. I don't. I really don't like season passes. Because you're paying... They could say they give you a lot. Now, companies have gotten better about this because they know they have to deliver or they get called out. So, like I said, a lot of these things we're talking about have gotten better just because over time. But I still don't like season passes because you're paying $50. It's usually $50. $40, $50 for a season pass that you don't know what you're getting. You don't know. They could put out like 2 of the 4 packs and say, yeah, we've moved on, sorry, and then you're just out of luck.
That's crap.
I don't like season passes. I don't. I like I said, I like a lot of this stuff. I like the idea behind season passes because the whole idea behind season pass is, yes, we are coming out with DLC, which season pass is just an excuse for them to be able to put out DLC. That's number one. You know, to charge you more money. But anyway, hey, we're going to come out with this DLC. Now, if you buy it separately, $15, $20 at a time when it comes out, you're going to end up spending $60 to $80 over time.
Right.
But if you buy the season pass today for $49.99, you will get all the DLC that comes out for this game.
For quote-unquote half the price.
What's not... Math, love.
It's too late to do math. I can't math right now.
Anyway, for a cheaper price.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is, if you don't get the DLC that's promised to you, or DLC is late, then you feel like you wasted your money. Now, here's the other scam about season passes. You can buy the season pass for a game, but usually that DLC comes out in a slow trickle, or like in 4 separate DLC packs. Now, I used to buy season passes. I don't buy season passes anymore, and I know this happens to a lot of people when they first buy season passes. You can buy a season pass for a game. 6 months from now, are you really still playing that game? Or have you moved on to something else?
Is the game worth your time in the first place? Sounds like.
Well, it's not only that. It's, you know, you may have enjoyed the game. Like, I bought season passes for games that I enjoyed. Elite Dangerous. And, you know, was super happy with the game at the time, and then you bought season pass for it. But what if DLC is slower than what they said? Than the company said? What if it's not what you were promised? What if you don't play the game anymore just because you got bored of the game? Now, sure, you can go back to the game if you own it, but then how much are you really going to still be playing it? You'll play the DLC for a little bit, and then you'll go back to whatever's, you know, whatever other games you're playing. I mean, DLC, like that season pass, to me, is one of the biggest... It's not a scam.
Making it sound like a scam.
I know, but it's not quite a scam, because you know what you're getting into when you get a season pass. But companies can get a lot of money out of a season pass, and you don't get your money worth out of the season pass. Because you either stop playing the game, or DLCs are late so you stop playing the game, or you don't get everything you were promised in the season pass.
Or they overhyped it, and the hype didn't live up.
Yeah, or they overhyped it, or there's just a bunch of things that go wrong with the season pass. I used to be a huge believer in the season pass. And there are a few season passes that I have gotten, because I know I will go back to that game. But you have to know, and you have to really enjoy the game before you buy a season pass. Just fair warning. Be absolutely sure you're going to get your money's worth out of the season pass. And companies are always like, because they don't know what's going into the season pass yet, because they haven't made it most of the time. It's like, we're giving you this. And they don't always give you all of that. So just be wary of season passes. Unless, like, the company has a really good track record with season passes and DLC. Or it just sounds like you're going to be getting a lot out of the season pass. Then you might want to look into it. Anyway, that's all I got for season passes. I'm just saying, be wary of season passes is my biggest thing.
I've never delved into season passes just because they've always seemed kind of iffy to me.
They are iffy. There you go. Let us know what you think about season passes. Like I said, I like the idea. Hey, you can get all the DLC for cheaper if you buy it now, which is a good deal. But you can end up buying a season pass and not getting everything out of it. That's the bad thing about season passes. And why I just don't really do season passes as much anymore. There are a few games that's like, I know I'm going to get a lot out of the season pass just because of what happened in the past. And I'll think about picking up season passes. But for the most part, it could end up being like Elite Dangerous. Which, if you don't know Elite Dangerous, they are way behind on their season pass. They were supposed to have four DLCs. I bought the season pass. They're supposed to have 4 different updates. Mm-hmm. Now, I haven't checked it in the past couple of weeks, I would say. It's been a little while. Hold on. Talk about something random while I look this up. Or people are just going to be staring at a screen. What is your favorite fruit?
Just stare at the screen. It's fine.
What is your favorite fruit?
My favorite fruit would be apples.
Why?
Because they are tasty. Pure and simple. They're tasty, they're easy to eat, and they're cheap.
Okay. Red Delicious or Golden Delicious?
Actually, Gala.
Don't know what that is.
It's basically a kind of a tartar apple. It's kind of it's mostly red, but it has some green on it still.
If you know that apple, let me know in the comments. I've never heard of that apple.
You've probably seen it in the store, you just never paid attention.
Probably.
I know what Cendril's favorite fruit is. Orange.
That's true. That's 100% true. Well, store load up. I don't see an update for it, so they still have only released 1.
Out of
4, and they even promised 5, like they'd have a bonus. So 1. And it upset me because I used to play a lot of Elite Dangerous. I don't really play Elite Dangerous anymore because they've screwed the game up a lot, in my opinion. But yep, that's it. That's all they've had. No, they promised 5. Okay. Because they did the 2.0 update, which I think was for everybody. Maybe. No. Mm-hmm. So they did the 2.0 update, and then they did 2.1, which didn't live up to the hype, in my opinion. And then they have 2.2, 2.3, and 2.4, which I'm really excited about from what they say. But I understand they're working out kinks and stuff. Like, I get that. But right now, I feel like I think the season pass is like $30. Right now, I feel like I wasted $30, and that's not cool. So
don't do that to your fans or your players or anybody. Just period. Don't do it.
Yeah, I could do a whole episode on Elite Dangerous. So, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you had a lot of fun. If you play Elite Dangerous at all, or you just have the game, let me know in the comments. And, we can talk a little Elite Dangerous. So, for Finn,
I've been Skylark. I'll see y'all later.
I'm Cendril9. Remember to shoot for the stars and take care, everyone.